Hello and welcome, or welcome back to the stream. Wow, I'm so big. I'm killing everything in my bedroom. Whee. Alright, so are these drinks? Do you have a drink called Cab? Bubbly makes sense. Bubbly is like fizzy drink, right? That makes sense. Zin is a drink. And chard is a drink? Why is chard a drink? Chard's a vegetable, isn't it? Why? Oh, wine nicknames. Oh, Cabernet. We call it Cab Sav. That's maybe why it didn't trigger in my brain. Well, Albanese is in China, guys, and the Yanks are mad. How dare Anthony Albanese meet with a world leader? Chard, who says that? I don't know. I've never heard it. Oh, it's Cardinay. Oh, that does make sense. Okay, Cardinay. There's that whole bit on Kath and Kim where she calls it Cardinay, Chardonnay, Cardinay. Cardinay, Chardonnay? I don't know. It's Chardonnay. Yeah. We call it Shardy. That sounds like you shardied in your pants. That's what that sounds like. I can't drink red wine. I used to be able to drink it when I was like a teenager, but ever since I hit like age 20, it's too acidic or something, and it makes my joints swell up so bad. I think the tannins or something in red wine, because even if I have like food that's cooked in red wine, like if I have what's it called? Coq vin de. I don't know what that's that. Whatever the chicken in wine is called, the French one. Like even if I have that, it messes up my joints. Like Zinfandel. Zinfandel. I have not heard that, but I'm not cultured. Wine chicken. Yeah, but isn't that what it coq de vin? Isn't that what it translates to? Is chicken in wine? Look. The French think they're heaps fancy, alright, but it's just words. It's just words. It's just words in a fancy, pretentious accent, okay? But people in France were really nice to me. When I went to France, people were so nice to me, and they kept on asking me if I was French, because they were like, where are you from? And I was like, Australia. And they were like, oh, are your parents French? And I was like, no. They were like, oh, you look really French. And I was like, what? Every single country I go to, they're like, oh, you look really whatever. I'm like, no, I don't. I look like an angry Australian girl, so leave me alone. But apparently the French are very nice to everybody, so luckily, you know. I just like to think that they think that I'm French because of my impeccable fashion sense. Obviously, you know, just putting everybody to shame with my op shop finds, you know, so fashionable, so now, so in the moment. All right, let's see why the Yanks are mad at Anthony Albanese for meeting with a leader of the upcoming superpower and our neighbor, China. And remember Xi Jinping, China #1, give Panda a panda. Oh, let's make a campaign called Give Panda a Panda. We could do it. They don't like Americans? Who, the Chinese? Yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah. There is a history there.
Global picture.
The group continues to move towards a broader intelligent galaxy.
Oh, that's so cool.
Keep the tone light on his first full day in China, launching a new tourism ad, coaxing Chinese visitors to Australia.
Good day.
Rubbing shoulders with ex-Socceroos.
Oh, but the thing is, like, I always used to have like Chinese, like international students be like, oh wow, there's so many Chinese people in Sydney. And I'm like, yeah, Sydney is very, very, very multicultural, like very multicultural. My dad has so many Chinese friends, but my dad lived in Hong Kong for a few years when he was like, I think between age 15 and age 19. And then he came to Australia because he was in the Navy. So he joined the Navy when he was like 14. So he was like over there. My mum could have been Chinese. Imagine if my dad married a nice Chinese lady instead of my mum. Think of the possibilities. That would have been better. Would have been better for my life.
Making a living in China's boomtown.
We have a parliamentary football team. We're not very good.
It sounds like you've got a busy few days ahead of you.
And admiring Shanghai's new towering skyscrapers.
The development we can see across the river is symbolic.
King Laffy is in the Twitch chat, everybody. He said, I kicked him out for being in love with me, and the Chinese are amazing. The Chinese are amazing, actually. I think they're pretty cool. I like pandas. They're pretty sick. I meant kick. Did I say Twitch? I meant kick. I don't know. Look, leave me alone. It's been a long day, mate. It's been a long day.
Is symbolic of the extraordinary development that China has seen in recent decades, lifting literally hundreds of millions of people out of poverty.
The relationship between China and Australia have witnessed continuous improvement and strong momentum of development.
But the happy tempo of the visit was disrupted by news from DC. The Financial Times reporting top Pentagon official Elbridge Colby has been pushing Australia and Japan to say whether they'd assist the US if it went to war with China over Taiwan. Mr. Colby seeming to confirm that on social media, saying the administration was urging allies to step up defence spending.
Do I sound like I have a blocked nose, everybody else? Everybody else on Twitch and YouTube, do I sound like I have a blocked nose? Genuine question. He's just trying to say I'm ugly, but he also said he wants to marry me. I mean, I do have lupus, so I do have a lot of health problems. I do have trouble breathing as well, so it's probably that. I don't know. Now I've got a chip on my shoulder. I sound a little bit blocked up. Yeah, I would imagine that I do. It's also winter here, so you know, it's cold and flu season. As the department has made abundantly and consistently clear. Oh, this is Secretary of Defense Elbridge Colby. Why does he have two last names? Can't criticize my face, so he's criticizing my voice. Yeah, I definitely have problems with my sinuses, so that's probably why. Does it sound really bad, or... Oh, I probably shouldn't freak out over how my voice sounds. So, old mate Elbridge Colby. As the department has made abundantly and consistently clear, we at DoD are focused on implementing the President's America First common sense agenda of restoring deterrence and achieving peace through strength. That includes by urging allies to step up their defense spending in other efforts related to our collective defense. This has been a hallmark of President Trump's strategy in Asia as in Europe, where it has already been tremendously successful.
Today's developments reflect the tectonic shifts that are happening around the globe at the moment. On the one hand, the US has opened a global trade war, which has left a lot of allies, including Australia, feeling somewhat alienated. On the other hand, it's pushing allies to increase their defence spending. Until now, most of that pressure has been on Europe and NATO, but now it's turning its attentions to the Asia-Pacific. That has implications for Australia, particularly because of the AUKUS deal. And the question is part of the AUKUS deal a commitment by Australia to come to the aid of Taiwan on behalf of the Americans as part of the deal? It's not all that clear that that is actually going to happen, but one suspicion has got to be that the Americans have leaked this story at this particular point of time when the Prime Minister is in China to try to disrupt what was otherwise looking like a very cordial relationship and a cordial...
Yeah, they're trying to shit stir. They're trying to put him on the back foot. They're trying to mess up our relations with China. It's very, very childish behavior. But, what? Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, please put the adults in charge of diplomacy, please. USA agitators, exile them all. Exile them to where? They're already in America. Oh, Sky News. Yeah, the Sky News people are way more pro-America and pro-Israel than they are Australia. It's so bizarre. And then they'll call other people un-Australian. It's like, no, we put our nation's interests first. We don't put Israel. And now I'm paranoid about my nasally voice. I can kind of hear it, to be honest. Damn it, he got inside my head. Oh well. I'm a sick girl. You know, I've always got a cold or flu, so it's just something I have to deal with. But I probably should get my sinuses looked at, to be fair. Like, everything else is wrong with me, so it would make sense that my sinuses are fucked up. Oh no, you know what? If I do have something wrong with my nose and I have to get surgery on it, everyone's gonna think I got a nose job. Because you know how like actresses and models and stuff, when they get a nose job, they're like, no, I had to get it for medical reasons. Oh no. Thousands march in Tel Aviv to demand end to Israel-Gaza war. Deviated septum equals need a nose job. Well, if it affects your breathing, my dad had to get his nose done, I think last year or the year before, but his nose looks exactly the same. So actually getting your septum straightened doesn't actually affect it. But his breathing was so bad. Like as a kid, he could never smell anything, but he used to box. So his nose has been broken like 500 times. Not literally 500 times, but I know, I get what he was doing. I'm just saying his psychological tactics worked. I know, I'm very aware of what he was doing, Hyperbovian. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. Like, just because you're aware of a tactic someone's using, it doesn't mean it doesn't get inside your head. Yeah. I know it wasn't in good faith, but yeah. You've been stuffed for decades. You just went on gabapentin, and your nose and sinuses completely cleared. Oh, that's what they give. Gabapentin is what they give cats if they're anxious before they go to the vet. Let me double check that. Also, they use it for seizures as well, right? Seizures and depression and a whole bunch of stuff. Because when I was having seizures from my lupus, that was a drug that they looked at for that. Yeah, this is a drug I was thinking about. Let's see why they give it to cats. Anxiety. Aww. Aww. Using gabapentin to reduce feline stress. So cute. Maybe I should give that to my cat so she calms the F down. Gabapentin for cats, a common option for pain and anxiety. Gabapentin is a pain medication that also has sedative effects. Because of its sedative effects, it's often prescribed to manage anxiety. What it treats: pain, fear, anxiety, and stress. Common side effects: lethargy, sedation, walking, and balance issues. You can give it to your cat for car or plane travel, veterinary exam visits, grooming visits, other expected events like fireworks, constructions, or parties.
Tonight, one of those freed hostages in the last couple of months has addressed the crowd.
The window of opportunity to bring home all 50 hostages, living and dead, is open now, and it won't be for long.
Well, it's clear that this group are trying to make their voice heard. There is little sense at this stage that the Netanyahu government is listening. The Israeli Prime Minister has just returned from a week...
Are you allowed to protest in Israel? I mean, I guess you are. They're not in jail. I don't know. They might be later, though. I'm sure Mossad is keeping a watchful eye on them.
Long trip to the United States. While he has been there, hostage negotiators, ceasefire negotiators have been in the Qatari capital, Doha, trying to come up with some sort of deal with Hamas. However, those talks are reportedly faltering. There have been reports that there are still key sticking points, namely things such as exactly how far...
Oh, I know, Hyperbovia. They want other countries to try and, like, quell. It's like, well, what do you expect people to do when they see all these dead children? Like, yeah, it's insane. It just goes to show, like, how much power Israel has, that they feel comfortable to make those kinds of demands of other governments. Like, I've never heard Australia make a demand. I've never heard Australian diplomats or prime ministers issue edicts to, like, other countries. Like, you have to do this, you have to do that, la 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 la. I mean, maybe they do in the back channels, but they wouldn't be, you know, so bold as to do it, like, in public. And he just expects people to listen. They've been processing Bibi for decades. Yeah, I know he's not popular amongst a lot of people. He kind of, like, forms weird coalitions with people to get elected because he can't really, you know, get the numbers in his own right.
Israeli forces will withdraw from Gaza if there is a ceasefire. There are also allegations being levelled by Palestinians at the Israeli government that the negotiators are pumping the brakes here, that they aren't flowing forward with these negotiations because the Prime Minister has been overseas, and that is why we are seeing these significant delays. Something continuing without any delay or restraint are Israeli airstrikes across Gaza. with Palestinian authorities saying multiple attacks have rocked the Strip. Among the dead, medics say, are women and children. Some were reportedly shot near an aid distribution site run by the private organisation, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which is backed by the US and Israeli governments. It's the latest in weeks of deadly shootings near GHF sites in Gaza.
Yuck.
Palestinian authorities say it is Israel to blame.
I can't think of anything more vile than having only one aid organization that's run by the people that are killing you, that are ethnically cleansing and trying to annex your land, and you're desperate, you're starving, there's no food, so you have no choice but to try and get some type of aid package from this organization. And then they use that to get you all into the same area to shoot you and kill you. What the F?
Shootings, but the IDF says it has reviewed this incident and it cannot find any known injured people. That is despite those bodies piling up at morgues in Gaza and the doctors there.
I'm glad the way that this is being reported is actually starting to be a bit more fair and balanced, because usually it's usually they don't really question whatever Israel says, and they've started to really push back, which is really, really, really good. But it would have been great if you could have done that like 20 months ago. You can't bring people back to life, so, and you can't untopple buildings and infrastructure and all of that stuff. Like, even if this ends, is Gaza going to be habitable? Is Israel still going to get what they want, even if they don't cleanse the entire Gazan population? Like, potentially they still get what they want, right? Because how are they going to rebuild? You didn't miss much, Joey. It was just some weirdo in the Kick chat saying that I sound like I have a blocked nose and I probably have a deviated septum. It's like, no, I'm just sick. Thank you. And then he said that he wants to marry me. So, I don't know. I guess he likes snotty girls. You think I sound nice? Thank you, Hyperbovian. I do get very sick during winter because I'm an immunosuppressant, so I typically have at least like some form of cold and flu for like 6 months of the year, so it could be that. And I have noticed that like sometimes when I'm editing shorts, I have noticed sometimes I sound a bit blocked up, but I don't think it sounds bad because men kind of like sick women. I know this sounds weird, but it kind of brings out like some type of like protective instinct. They're like, oh, look how frail she is. There would be lots of countries that would help rebuild. Well, yeah, you would hope so. You would hope there would be. And there's a lot of international agencies that could help rebuild, but I just worry about Israel letting them, right? Momo from Apothecary Diaries? Momo the scary bird lady? Do I sound like the scary bird lady? Oh, Moe, as in Japanese cute. Yeah, that's Meow Meow. You are correct, it is. Momo Meow Meow. I don't know. Look, I'm doing my best. I managed to do the connections thing on the New York Times, so you know, Meow Meow Moe. Yeah, Moe is it kind of means like kawaii, right? It kind of means like along the same vein, I think. Albanese rolls out tourist campaign during Shanghai visit. Yay! I think China and Australia should be best friends. I'm into it. I like it.
Off his 6-day visit to China, the Prime Minister rolled out a new campaign aimed at drawing back the nation's biggest tourism spenders. But beneath the surface, he has to navigate complex currents, including deep security issues and regional stability.
A push from the Prime Minister.
It's the urge to protect something like cuteness, sickness, or innocence. Well, yeah, I've noticed, especially my male friends are like very, very, very protective of me, because I'm like small and sick. So I think that does bring out like a very like primal, like caveman instinct, which is fine because I probably do need to be protected from the world, to be honest, so that's okay. I hurt myself in confusion a lot.
A push from the Prime Minister to the people with Aussie soccer exports to bridge the gap.
I've just been chatting with Kevin about the fact that they are ambassadors as well.
Former Socceroo Kevin Muscat now flying the flag for its Chinese side.
We'd like to present you with your own Shanghai Port FC shirt. And
we have a parliamentary football team. We're not very good.
This Sunday stroll on the Bund, one of Shanghai's main attractions, and tonight Anthony Albanese launching a tourist trap of his own. Our cartoon kangaroo alongside Chinese megastar Yu Shi for an ad to help lure locals to come and say g'day.
Increasingly, Chinese tourists spend more than tourists from other destinations.
If I look at spend, it was 9.2 billion in that 12 months as well, and also growing and going in the right direction.
It's good to see a focus on tourism because numbers haven't recovered since COVID.
This week-long diplomatic mission all about rebuilding rapport.
Well, a Liberal Party member not just being like, oh, everything he does is shit. That's we like that. We like to see that. We like to see concession when something good happens. You know, you don't have to poo-poo it just because it's not your team. Unless it's Queensland during State of Origin, then you're just allowed to say whatever you want. Yes, I will never let go. Thank you. I am... Are we starting to side with China over America? Yeah, I like the Chinese. I like the Chinese. I think we should be friends with them. They're our neighbors. You know, I just like it. I just like it.
Tourism and trade are the publicly touted positives of our relationship with China, but these ties are two-tiered.
There couldn't be a more important time to strengthen an economic partnership and relationship which is full of opportunity but not short of complexity either.
If we're not safe, then unfortunately, trade means nothing.
Australia has already...
Did David Littleproud dye his hair? Did he get Just for Men? Did he get some Just for Men and go ham on it? Just look at my Ray Martin hair, guys. It's very dashing.
Australia has already raised a protest with China over warships firing off our coast earlier this year.
Well, we've been very clear both publicly and privately that we thought that China should have provided more notice.
Our military right now operating its own drills with the US and 18 other countries off the coast of Queensland. China wasn't invited, but will be watching on and closely monitoring responses to American demands that Australia would help defend Taiwan if China invaded.
We want peace and security.
We don't even know if America would help us. I think they would defend Pine Gap, but I think that's about the stretch of it. Why should we put ourselves at risk for Taiwan? Like, love Taiwan, beautiful place, very cool place, but like, I don't know why do we have to come to its defense? Not saying that we necessarily shouldn't, just saying why is that an expectation for us?
Security in our region. We are investing in our capability and investing in our relationship.
An assurance President Xi will want repeated when he sits down with Anthony Albanese in the days ahead. In Shanghai, Liz Daniels, 9 News.
Well, Liz Daniels joins us live now from Shanghai. Liz, the Pentagon has put Australia in the middle of China and the US. Will this overshadow the trip?
Well, Mark, as much as there's a global focus on what comes out of the White House, the Prime Minister can't control what happens between Washington and Beijing. What he can control is our own business links with...
Oh, look how pretty this is. It looks like Genshin Impacts. I want to go there. I want to go there. Oh, look at the blossoms. America is totally dependent on Taiwan microchips. Okay, so let me rephrase it. Why should Australia send its troops to defend America's microchips? Trump hasn't changed anything in the Australian and American relationship. He's just been honest about what America thinks of us. There's no respect, there's no friendship. It's just an expectation, right? It's just an expectation. They don't respect us. Like, you don't treat friends like that. You don't treat friends like that. It's insane.
With China, and that's what he'll focus on tomorrow. There is a delegation of big-name Australian CEOs here in Shanghai, and they are gearing up to push for a trade expansion. And when it comes to what will happen and our economic ties and prosperity, those talks, Mark, are where the rubber hits the road.
Liz Daniels, live for us in Shanghai. Thank you.
You're welcome. Shush. Shush. Shush you. Shush. No. Go away. I said no. Apparently, a police officer got shot in Mountie County, or Mount Druitt, as it is known for people not from the quote-unquote area. Sorry, too many Western Sydney references. But I have lots of friends in Mount Druitt, so I wanted to watch this. Look, they got a Panthers hat and they got a Blues cap. So cute. Also very sad. I feel like half of the New South Wales Blues are from Mount Druitt, right? Because Ta'o's from Mount Druitt. Well, most of the Penrith Panthers are from Mount Druitt. Oh, I don't know, that's sad. Let's see what happened, I guess. I just saw it. I was like, oh, that's a story that's related to my origin stories. Oh, Parramatta Eels jersey in Mount Druitt. Although it used to be Parramatta territory. Come on, why aren't you working? What do I have to do to get you to work?
Family and friends in mourning for a father shot by police. Officers were called to Mount Druitt Westfield on Saturday afternoon after a fight broke out between two groups of women on the rooftop car park. Witnesses spoke of hair and eyelashes being ripped out.
In total, there were 6 females, middle 20s in terms of age.
Shortly after, a 29-year-old man armed with a machete arrived. Officers say he ignored a request to drop the weapon, instead pursuing the women, prompting officers to open fire.
There's a person that we know has 2 young daughters. His wife, we will be alleging, was involved in the melee.
It's not yet clear what sparked the brawl, but police say the women weren't known to each other.
We believe it was an opportunist meeting. They are not known in terms of any gang affiliation or any other membership in terms of groupings. It was just a sheer fluke.
Shoppers nearby feared for their safety.
Yeah, maybe it was just a Western Sydney scrag fight. You see those sometimes. Unfortunate, but it happens. I've seen lots of fights at Penrith Plaza, and that's not far. Also Parramatta. Yeah, why is it the rooftop car park? I think that's where everybody tries to meet to fight each other.
For things to occur broad daylight, 3 p.m. on a busy weekend, it's terrifying for everyone.
Police say Westfield security and police officers already on patrol at the shopping centre responded within minutes before locking down the car park where the trouble broke out. They say at no stage did it impact the inside of the shopping mall.
They didn't come to work yesterday knowing they had to shoot somebody. They didn't know that. Their actions were brave. I want to put that on record. Their actions was brave.
The homicide squad will lead the internal police investigation into the shooting and actions of the officers, with the police watchdog reviewing the outcome. Jean Kennedy, ABC News.
Oh, I had a blonde moment. I thought it was the police officer that got shot. It wasn't the police officer that got shot. It says senior police defend officers involved in fatal Mount Druitt shooting. Why did I interpret that as a police officer got shot? I don't know, because I'm not very intelligent apparently. Whoopsie. Yeah, I agree with Joey in Hyperbovian about America just expecting us to put ourselves at risk with this alliance instead of protecting ourselves. It's 100%. Are scrag fights at shopping centres common where you guys live? Let me know. I want to know. I've only really been in one scrag fight, and that was when I was 4, and it was with my best friend called Chandra, and we were fighting over My Little Pony toys, and we pulled each other's hair and scratched each other. And that was my scrag fight. Oh, actually, another time when I used to play touch footy at high school, yeah, my touch footy team got into a punch-on with Glenmore High. Glenmore High's touch footy team. I think it was like year 10. I think it was like year 9 or year 10. Well, I wasn't really doing much. I just yanked a girl off my friend, but I yanked her by the hair, but it was a heat of the moment thing because she was just like smacking the shit out of my friend. So I just grabbed her any way I could. And it just happened to be her hair, and that's not my fault if that happened. But yeah. We got in lots of trouble. I think both teams got kicked out of the competition. Oh well. They shouldn't have started it, stupid bumheads. Fighting over My Little Pony toys is a vibe. Well, yeah, that's the only time I've ever lost my shit and just started attacking someone. But I don't even remember who attacked first. But I'm still friends with this girl. I am still friends with this girl. We still talk to each other, as adults. And we always bring it up. It's really, really funny. We were taking chunks out of each other, chunks of skin, chunks of hair. I don't know what happened. You bring pony toys into a little girl's conversation and it just, yeah, gets feral really fast. Yeah, I remember it really vividly. We were playing with our with our My Little Pony toys in the sandpit, and shit just escalated. People ruined their whole life for horses. What ponies were they? Do I remember? I don't remember. I think I still might have them somewhere. Or actually, I know who has them. My big sister, because she's got like an intellectual disability. And she's like still intellectually a kid. She has all my old toys. So she would still have my My Little Pony toys. She loves all that stuff. She has like every toy. Trump loves changing stories. Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're the executive in the separation of powers. You know, executive powers are really, really strong. It was actually Obama that started abusing the executive powers. And the left didn't really mind then, but then when it was Trump, they like freaked out. So we will see what happens, but he wants to bury the Epstein files. But I guarantee you Elon Musk is in the Epstein files. I reckon he's a creep. I think he's a total creep. Allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Is there an ad break coming up? 10 seconds? Okay, thank you, Joey. But notice how Elon Musk didn't care that Trump is allegedly in the Epstein files when they were working together, and Trump was stroking his ego when letting him have his little toys like Doge and all that nonsense, and making Elon Musk feel like he was an important big boy in the government and he had a big boy job. And, you know, there was no issue with Trump allegedly being in the Epstein files then. But now when you guys aren't talking anymore, it's a problem somehow, which is weird, which is a little bit strange, a little bit convenient, you might say. Oh yeah, well the thing is, like, all of Elon Musk's companies are propped up by American taxpayer money, and if Elon Musk doesn't get subsidies, his companies can't like stay afloat in their own right? They need all these subsidies from the government, and if they don't get them, then they fail, and Elon Musk loses all his money. So of course he's going to be freaking mad if the big beautiful bill cuts his money. It makes sense. Thank you for following, Stuffies too. Good to see you. Yeah, Alex Jones's heart must be broken because he really thought Trump was like going to be his dude. He really thought Trump was going to be his you know, hero. I imagine like Alex Jones has like a video of him and Trump walking down the beach holding each other's hands, and it's like slow motion, and they're like running towards the waves, and it's like, I can be a hero, baby. You hate everything about politics, but I certainly give my I can't read today. You hate everything about politics, but you'll give your terrible opinions for my amusement. Well, I appreciate that, Stuffies. I appreciate that. We're going to play some games after this, so... my computer is a potato, hence why it's having trouble playing YouTube videos, so bear with us, Stuffies. All super rich people are creepy, man. All of them. They're all total creeps, left, right, whatever. They're all weirdos. They were all creeps. They're all rich. They don't think about normal, ordinary people as being human, right? They don't even see us as being the same species as them. Like, they don't care. Like, girls from poor backgrounds or whatever are just pieces of meat to them. And that's why they feel so, like, emboldened to just trade them around like they're, you know, cattle. It's pretty gross, but... Like, I don't even, obviously I don't know any billionaires, but I have like, I went to university with some people that come from like millionaire families, and yeah, they definitely have a different way of seeing the world, I would say. You agree with something that I mentioned the other day with the blackmail being in Israel's hand? Oh yeah, Epstein is 100% a Mossad operative, 100%. This is why Israel can just issue all these edicts to the rest of the world, right? Say do this, do that, because they're all on tape doing something, you know, nefarious. They get all of them. They get all of them some way or the other. Whatever you're into, they'll work it out, and they'll entice you. It might not even be like sexual things. It might be like whatever it is. It might be drugs. It might be, they might just threaten your family. it's dark, but it's the reality of the world. Sometimes I'm just happy being poor and living a good life. Yeah, because this stuff, it just seems so dark. Yeah, stuffies, the money definitely removes them from like thinking in a normal way. Yeah, rich people they live in a different world, and yeah, you only have to talk to them for a few minutes to just see that they're just totally out of touch with the reality, because their reality is completely different too. They just don't have the same problems that we do. Granted, they still have problems, right? But how many of your problems that you have right now could be solved with a big wad of cash? Like, for most of us, there's obviously some things that everybody goes through, like grief and, losing people that you love, and money. No amount of money is gonna, stop that from happening. But, a lot of problems that most people have are solved by money, and they just don't have that reality.
Prince Andrew has always been very nervous about going abroad and always looking over his shoulder.
Oh no, poor Prince Andrew can't go on his overseas holiday, guys. What a relatable problem. What a relatable problem.
You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
That's convenient, Trumpy. That's very convenient. I think all of them. Epstein, Elon, all of them. I think they're all in there, to be honest. Probably half of Hollywood, if not more. Come on. Come on. He's 100% poisoning the world hyperborean. It's a very well-used tactics by these types of people.
We've heard Kash Patel and Pam Bondi talk about, oh, we gotta protect the victims.
Go through it very cautiously to protect all the victims.
We're not gonna re-victimize women. We're not gonna put that back out there.
But when we actually hear the president talk—
Yeah, but all you have to do is redact names and identifying features. To protect the victims, all you have to do is just change the age, the name, the appearance, like place of origin, and release them. Like, de-identifying information is something that like a lot of people have to do every day, depending on what profession you work in. Like, say if I want to publish a casework study for like a social work journal, right? Because I've published papers before in social work journals. I'm not gonna say, this is my client from X suburb who's 23 years old and this, that, and that. I'm gonna change certain details, right? Certain details that don't like change anything too major to make like the paper irrelevant, but I'm gonna change like, things that somebody would read and go, oh, I know who that is, right? My potato, Mr. Potato Head. Nope. Is it gone? It's not gonna work. It's buggered, guys. It's gone. The computer died. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, my PC. You found it. You found it, Joey. That's my computer. I'm gonna put it up. It's not up. Where is it? This is my computer, guys. This is it.